This has very beautifully found manifestation in the planetary system in which we live, the diameter of the earth, the diameter of the sun, the distance between moon and earth. So because of this, you will see traditionally, if you wear beads, it's 108, chant a mantra, it's 108, if you go around an energy space, 108. This is because there are 108 things that one needs to do if he wants to have a complete mastery over the human mechanism itself. This has very beautifully found manifestation in the planetary system in which we live. 108 times the diameter of the earth is the diameter of the sun. The diameter of the sun 108 times is the distance between the sun and the earth. Diameter of the moon into 108 times is the distance between moon and earth. And in terms of how the earth's orbit is divided, even that amounts to 108, for example. The positions that the earth takes around the sun is called one nakshatra. There are 27 nakshatras. Nakshatra is not a star, it is a measuring unit here. There are 27 nakshatras, and these 27 also indicate 1/2 of the lunar cycle. The 27 nakshatras means 13.5 lunar months, and that's how the lunar calendar functions. A nakshatra is divided into 4 padas. 72,000 shrines and 108 main temples. The idea is to connect the micro and the macro, or the individual and the universal. We must not only be proud of it, we must preserve it. I bow down to the man for bowing down to those ladies and those hard-working men.
Today, the Prime Minister dedicated the Kashi Vishwanath corridor to the people of the country, to believers and devotees, and in fact helped realize a dream that had been dreamt by none other than the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, over a century ago, who had wondered, when visiting the holy city of Kashi, of Banaras, of Varanasi, why is it that those that we worship cannot be kept in a state that befits them? Why can't we accord our deities the glory that we deserve? Today, Varanasi and Mahadev was restored in the glory that they deserve. The politics aside, what is the significance? Why is this important for us as a country and a culture? Joining us now on the News Hour agenda, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. Thank you very much, Sadhguru, for having spoken to us. To begin with, as a Shiv Bhakt yourself, what are your thoughts today?
So this is an instrument to transform and transcend a human being to areas and spaces that individual human beings by themselves may not be able to do. Not everybody is steeped in spiritual practices. How do they find expression to their longing? Because there is no human being in the world who doesn't have a longing to touch aspects and dimensions of life which are not yet in their life. Everybody wants to. Some people may invest their time and energies to do that consciously, others here and there aspire for it. Maybe instead of genuinely seeking within themselves, they will have a drink or they will drug or they'll do something. But you must understand, all these are aspirations to touch something of the beyond. So here, we in this culture, in this Sanatana Dharma, we created instruments through which you could touch even ordinary people who are not steeped in spiritual sadhana. They can also have an opportunity to transcend and transform their way of being, if not in their early life, at least towards the end of their life, they must go to Kashi to do this. There have been many attempts like this in the country, there are many places like this, but Kashi is a very, very daring project. A few thousand years ago, the size and the complexity and the sophistication of what it is truly incredible, and unfortunately today a lot of it is lost, but this is phenomenal that once again some revival has happened. The first time I went there, some journalists came to me and asked, "Sadhguru, what is your impression of Kashi?" I said, "It's fabulous and filthy." They didn't like it. I said, "See, this is the reality, you better address the filth. Fabulous is there, nobody is missing it, But if you do not address the filth, fabulous could get buried in the filth. Here we are, at last, Kashi has a revamp, Kashi has some amount of, if not the whole system being revived, at least a part of it being revived. I think this will go a long way for many people who aspire for this, who want to be there but cannot be there simply because of the way it was being conducted. So this is a huge step in that direction. One must understand this is about Vishwanath. This is about an inclusive process. This is not an exclusive process, this is about everybody. I hope everybody gets this message, and also the temple also is conducted in such a way, it does not discriminate between one and the other. During times of invasions, during times of occupation, during times of British rule, they evolved rules to stop other people, other nationalities and other religions. They used to stop at one time. I think that is largely gone. It must completely go. Anybody who wants to come, it should be open to them, because this is about Vishwanath Ji.
Absolutely. And when you say it's filthy and fabulous, yes, it may offend certain sensibilities, but you're an august company.
I said fabulous and filthy.
But you're an august company there, Sadhguru, because it was the father of our nation who over a century ago said that when people come visit us from across the world and they look at Kashi, what will they think if this is how we keep our deities? But why did it take so long? Was it the Orientalism, or that you sort of glamorize squalor? Why did it take so long to rejuvenate something that was apparent to everyone?
See, it's not that we romanticize our squalor, not at all. I think it's because since pre-independence there has been a thing, but particularly post-independence, we are being shy of our culture because we want to project ourselves like we are westernized and everything, because if you have to be modern, you have to be westernized. It's only now in the last 5–10 years that there is a resurgence that you can be proud of your culture, you can be proud of who you are. This has come back fortunately in common people. It's a very positive thing because no nation will move forward in a big way if they're ashamed of being who they are. So I think that was a significant part, and apart from that, without political will, that could have never happened. Fortunately, it's come together now and it's great. It doesn't matter what is the history, there's a painful history behind Kashi. We can forget that and look forward to how Kashi can be a glorious thing, because Kashi, well, Mark Twain went on to say it's more ancient than the legends. And when people had not thought of Rome, there was Kashi. When Athens had not really manifested in human mind, there was Kashi. When the phenomena of Egypt had not happened, there was Kashi. So Kashi is the most ancient living city on the planet, and India as a nation, we must not only be proud of it, we must preserve it and nurture it in such a way that it will draw people. Kashi, as a single force, can handle nearly 50% of India's, tourism as such. I must tell you this, when I happened to be in one of the large hotels there near Kashi, in the hotel, everybody, everywhere, they were only projecting that place as a destination for Saranath. That is the Gautam Buddha's first place where he taught. But what they forgot was, Gautama also came all the way to teach near Kashi, because he thought that is the best location for him to teach. But today it was being projected that way. I spoke to the management and told them, what is happening here? There is no mention of Kashi. In Varanasi there is a hotel and no mention of Kashi, it's all about Saranath. They said, no, all our clients are from Japan and other Buddhist countries, nobody else comes. So essentially it had become, this I'm talking about 12–15 years ago, essentially it had become that only very common people, village people, rural people will come to Kashi.